Sekara, Minister of Human Resources, Government of Sri Lanka, Honorable Ashan Iqbal Chowdhury, Minister of Planning, Government of Pakistan, His Excellency Ahmad Salim, Secretary General, SAC, distinguished participants, invitees, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to the 6th South Asia Economic Summit in Colombo. It is a great delight to see so many of you from our region and from outside the region. I trust you had a comfortable journey to Colombo, that you had recovered from your jet lag and are looking forward to 3 days of stimulating deliberation at this summit. The principal organizer of this summit is the Institute of Policy Studies of Sri Lanka. Our co-partners are the Center for Policy Dialogue in Bangladesh, Research and Information System for Developing Countries in India, South Asia Watch on Trade, Economics and Environment in Nepal, and the Sustainable Development Policy Institute in Pakistan. Our co-regional partner is the South Asia Center for Policy Studies, known as SAES. Our key sponsors and other partners are the ESCAP Sub-Regional Office for South and Southwest Asia, the World Bank, UN ESCAP, the Commonwealth Secretariat, the IDRC Think Tank Initiative, the Asia Foundation, AusAid International Seminar Support Scheme, Oxfam, SANDI, the GIZ SAC Trade Promotion Network, and others. Our local sponsors are Sri Lanka Telecom, Mobitel, People's Bank, DFCC, Sri Lankan Airlines, SoftLogic, Commercial Bank, and the Axis Bank. The South Asia Economic Summit is an outcome of an idea mooted by SASEPS in the year 2001, that the time has come for a South Asian Economic Forum like the World Economic Forum that takes place annually in Davos, Switzerland. As we could not attempt this exercise on a large scale at once, due to various constraints, some of the regionally well-networked research organizations took the initiative to launch the South Asia Economic Summit as a building block for a future Davos-like forum to emerge in South Asia. In 2008, the first summit was launched in Colombo, hosted by the IPS, soon after the 15th SAC summit that was held in Colombo. It was made possible by generous donor assistance by some of the same sources that are supporting us here today. The summit then took off annually, the second one held in Delhi in 2009, the third one in Kathmandu in 2010, the fourth one in Dhaka in 2011, and the fifth one in Islamabad last year. The incremental approach of the South Asia Economic Summit over the years has seen the summit become a larger event that brings together academia, especially economists, members from the government who are involved in the policymaking process, and the private sector leaders in the region to exchange ideas on contemporary economic issues facing South Asia. It has now become a key track 2 process for highlighting South Asian economic issues and policy options to map the way forward with regards to regional cooperation. The 6th South Asia Economic Summit is at a chronological midway point of sorts, with it taking place after the SAFTA Ministerial Council meeting and the SAC Finance Ministers meeting, which took place over the last 2 weeks in Colombo. Our meeting also takes place before the UN annual session in New York, scheduled for the 3rd week of September, where all heads of states of SAC members will meet, and the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting and the Commonwealth Business Forum due to be held in Colombo in mid-November, where some of the SAC member heads of states will have an opportunity to meet once again. Then, at the WTO ministerial meeting in Bali in the first week of December, the SAC commerce ministers will meet alongside their global counterparts. With these pivotal meetings coming up, our deliberations at this summit will provide important inputs for these official meetings in the coming months. For this summit, we have selected the theme towards a stronger, dynamic, and inclusive South Asia. Over the last 5 years, South Asia Economic Summit mainly focused on regional economic cooperation. While recognizing the importance of regional economic cooperation in strengthening South Asia and positioning it as a better integrated region, the 6th South Asia Economic Summit offers somewhat different focus. It is motivated by the idea that faster growth in South Asia that is both inclusive and sustainable depends not only on collective regional action, but equally on efforts made by individual South Asian countries to address country-specific constraints to growth. It is perhaps an appropriate time to take a broader approach in view of the current global economic turmoil that is exerting an adverse impact overall on the region. However, the channels of exposure may differ across South Asian countries, as will the policy responses to mitigate them, and thereby ensure that longer-term development goals are not compromised. Thus, the summit this year will center on the discussion of 4 key issues concerning growth in South Asian states. This is being referred to us in the summit as the Big Four. They are making maximum use of region's human capital resources by creating productive employment for a growing labor force, more effective utilization of water resources, ensuring food security and adapting to climate changes, addressing growing urbanization and intra-country disparities, and ensuring the continued competitiveness of the private sector in both domestic and external markets. The 4th thematic presentations will be made by our country co-partners, RIS, SWATI, SDPI, and CPD respectively. These presentations will be followed by expert panels and parallel sessions as highlighted in the summit program. In between these sessions, we have introduced special events on important topics like regional cooperation and integration, WTO, as well as innovation and entrepreneurship. After the 4 plenary presentations, there will be no further presentations. Instead, there will be interactive sessions with panelists and audience in a Davos style to ensure that all those who are present can participate and contribute to the discussion. This year, we have 4 plenary sessions, 14 parallel sessions, 3 special events, and 2 guest speakers covering 26 sessions altogether. All previous summits have come out with policy recommendations and a publication, and this summit too will come out with the same. This summit has some new features, and I would like to briefly list some of them. Firstly, this is the first carbon neutral conference in Sri Lanka. In other words, it is the first such conference in Sri Lanka to be internationally certified as a carbon neutral event through the Carbon Neutral Company in the United Kingdom. We have estimated and offset the entire carbon footprint, including emissions from international jet flights, local travel, hotel accommodation, air conditioning, photocopying, and many others, in an attempt to ensure that many facets of the day-to-day handling of the conference are carried out in a more environmentally friendly manner. Secondly, this summit has attempted to take the discussion beyond the room in which we are all in now, a feature which we call Beyond the Oak Room Initiative. Beyond in the sense that the Big Four plenary sessions and the special events of the summit will be available for viewing anywhere in the world via the live webcast, the address of which we have already publicized on our website, in our briefing of participants, and in the local media. There are also a series of official partner events of the South Asia Economic Summit, where some of the speakers here will be giving guest lectures at leading Sri Lankan institutes like the Lakshman Kelegama Institute and the University of Colombo. Thirdly, this is the first summit to have a South Asian youth delegation. With the support of the World Bank, we have attracted a group of young participants from across South Asia who will be taking the message of the summit to a younger generation through blogs and social media. We also have several women entrepreneurs from South Asia participating under an Asia Foundation exposure visit. This shows that the South Asia Economic Summit is becoming well known in the region as well as outside the region. Fourthly, we have explored the possibilities of longer-term financing of the summit by various donors and well-wishers, which could be discussed by the South Asia Economic Summit co-partner organizations during this summit. Assured anchor funding will always go a long way in ensuring the sustainability of the South Asia Economic Summit and its eventual manifestation as a South Asian Davos. So these are some of the new features among many others that we have introduced. We are delighted to have with us the Honorable Dev Gunasekara, Senior Minister of Human Resources, as our chief guest today. The Honorable Ashan Iqbal Chowdhury, Federal Minister for Planning and Development of Pakistan, who will deliver the keynote address, and His Excellency Ahmad Salim, Secretary General of the SAARC, who will make the opening remarks at this inauguration. Beside these distinguished members at the high table, we will be having the Honorable G.L. Peiris, Minister of External Affairs, Government of Sri Lanka, Dr. Sarath Amunugama, Senior Minister of International Monetary Cooperation tomorrow, Dr. Gawar Rizvi, Advisor to the Honorable Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Dr. Sam Batija, Advisor to the Prime Minister of Afghanistan, Professor G.K. Chadha, President of the South Asian University, Dr. Babar Ali, Chancellor of the LUMS in Pakistan, and many other distinguished personalities participating in this summit. As in the past, this summit is bringing together a cross-section of stakeholders from the government, private sector, and research institutions in the region to review and reflect on issues that I highlighted earlier. Thus, an indirect aim of the summit is to promote networking among participants and promote people-to-people contact. It is our hope that the summit will grow from strength to strength over the coming years. Let me once again welcome all of you and hope you will benefit from the deliberations of this summit. I thank you.